with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
And good afternoon. This is Dr. Carlos Sanchez with the Hispanic Chamber Connection radio show. I hope you like our music. It is Brazilian music, and it is played with all love and honesty for you, our Hispanic Chamber Connection audience and members of our community who are listening. Thank you so much for being on the program. We have a great show for you today, and I'm excited because it's been a long time, and we've really been looking forward to interviewing our guest. She's Rebecca Riley with Lone Star College Montgomery, and we're going to talk to Rebecca about all kinds of different things. And by the way, you can also email me, you can text me, you can Facebook me, or anything. Any questions you have as we speak live, we will be happy to ask Rebecca. And you know, it's weird. Well, first, Rebecca, thank you for being on the show.
Of course, thank you.
It's weird. I was going to tell you, I did a conference the other day as a speaker, where I was speaking to this group of people, and beside me on a giant screen, they had live Twitter.
Oh.
And they were tweeting about me. At the time I was speaking, they were tweeting.
Instant feedback.
Like right there. And they do that a lot with their conferences, the technology group.
Mm-hmm.
And so that feedback, I think, is really meaningful because it allows me to know good things that was kind of funny at some points. So people were agreeing with what I was saying.
Did it influence the direction of your speech?
Only at the beginning.
Yeah.
Then I said, I don't care. Whatever they have to say, I'll just deal with it. So I don't think it's for, you do have to be okay on your feet, speaking.
Absolutely.
Whatever.
Yeah.
All right. So a couple of things I wanted to mention before we begin. Some of the things, Rebecca, just as a Chamber of Commerce, we have about 430 members now.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been a supporter since the very beginning.
Yes.
And there were like 10 of us, and we showed up not knowing anything really, and we still don't, But that's something I think a lot of folks don't know, especially like the people that visited your facilities yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of them weren't there a year ago.
Right.
Or 2 years ago when we began. So for the people that are listening to us, Lone Star College, especially Lone Star College Montgomery, has always been a big supporter of our community, a big supporter of our Chamber of Commerce, and we're very thankful because one thing that happens when Lone Star became one of our featured members is that it legitimizes the chamber too. It makes us look like, okay, this is a real thing.
Yes.
And what I love about it is that every time our members show up to the college, like the new people that show up that have not shown up before, they are so impressed with their facilities. It's amazing. They're beautiful.
It's a beautiful campus.
And a lot of folks I don't even know why. They just don't understand.
Well, Lone Star College and the community college in general is sometimes not the first thing that people think of when they think of higher education. But in fact, more freshman students start at a community college than at four-year colleges throughout the United States now.
Do they call that like a transition college? Is that kind of what that's?
It can be for some students.
Sure.
About at Lone Star College Montgomery, about 75% of our students say that they intend to transfer from Lone Star to a four-year university to complete a bachelor's degree. About 25 to 30% of them are there to complete a 2-year credential that enables them to go directly into the workforce.
Okay. So we'll get more and deeper into all the offerings of Lone Star College. First, though, I wanted to tell you, because I don't think you guys have attended yet, we have a lunch every Tuesday at 11 o'clock here on, right next to Home Depot on 45 in Shenandoah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And so that's a lunch. We get about 40 members every week. And basically it's networking. It's, so one of our premier services we offer our members is networking.
Mm-hmm.
So we do a lot of that. And
so important.
Oh, and that's another thing. We were talking about this earlier. Certain people, they get it, and when they get it, they show up. And then other folks, you have to train and teach and console and hopefully get to be a part of all this. And so I imagine it's kind of the same thing that you guys go through as well with people understanding that education is really, really important, especially higher education.
It is, and I think for business people, for anyone really, I think the relationship building that you can do in a networking opportunity or within an organization such as the Chamber is really the key to business expansion, to expanding your own networks and your ability to reach more and more customers. As a business person, it has to do with our ability to partner with more and more people in the community.
I agree.
It's so important.
So, okay, guys, so if you're listening, come on. You need to show up to these events and need to be a part of this, because this is why we exist, to help you be successful, and all we require is that you show. So most of the time you will get free food too. So like tomorrow we're in Katy, and so that's another big event that we do every week. And basically that draws another 30, 40, 50 members every week. And it's the same, kind of the same format. It's not open networking. I call it facilitated networking. Basically you have tables of 6, and so they don't give, I don't know if you've ever done that when people get up and they do their commercials and it just takes forever, and like, oh my God, this thing is so boring. So yes, but the good ones are when you're able to have more intimacy and more direct contact with people.
Yes, that's when you get to actually form a friendship or a relationship.
Exactly, and that's all of our events are that way. So we don't open them up to just the endless litany of commercials. It's very different.
The other day, a student was in my office who was actually working on an assignment on leadership, and he asked me, "What do you wish you had known much earlier that you've learned over the years in leadership?"
I love when they ask me that.
And that was an easy one to think of, because it's something that took me way too long to really understand, and it was how significant the component of relationship building is in leadership, in business, in any endeavor. For a long time, I thought it was about doing the tasks well.
Being
that's important, but the most important thing is really the relationship building. That's everything comes from that.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So that networking is a great opportunity.
Well, so Katy, tomorrow, on Thursday, we're in the Galleria. So we're going to be at a restaurant called
Lots of opportunities.
Gaucha. That's another one that fills up. A lot of folks show up to those things, and it's the same thing. Just a lot of relationship building and true networking.
And you're going places where the food is good, yes?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Always. That's first. Always food first, And we say that we say that with all love, but with all honesty. With us, it's not about being anti, gluten and being GMO phobes. Hispanics tend to eat the real deal. If you want to give us diet food, it's very likely that people will turn it down, or they'll put it in their pocket, or not take, and they'll just go to Whataburger afterward.
Now, I have to tell you, some of the freshest, healthiest food I've eaten in my entire life was in Mexico.
Sure. Well, but it's a whole different breed of people. People that are used to eating certain foods. I mean, it's socioeconomic, it's the whole thing. But bottom line is that here, for instance, we recommend our members is food is first. So it's food, then it's, it's faith.
Food, then friendship.
Friends, family, so it's the 5 F's, right? Food, faith, family, friends, faith, and fun. So fun being a major component as well. If you're not laughing, if you're not having fun, then things get boring really quickly. Yes. So all our events are fun, and we have secret number 6, F number 6, which is free. So if you have something free, it makes it even better. So anyway, so Katy is tomorrow, Galleria is Thursday. On Friday we have a ribbon. Actually, no, Friday we have something at Lone Star College.
Yes.
We have a professional sales training.
On campus.
We've done that. That I personally have taught that program all over the world. I mean, all over about 5 or 6 years ago, that's all I did was travel. And so this sales program we're doing for our members, it's a members only program, but it's free to our members. It's a proven form of selling, which is another component to all this. You can be a good networker, but if you can't sell, then you're just a nice person. You show up and you're cool, you're nice, but you can't. You can't.
It felt good, but no results.
Nothing happened, So when people come back to the office and they say, I made a lot of friends, yeah, but did anything happen? And if they say, well, the food was good, nothing happened. And in business, nothing happens without a sale. You have to be able to sell. Yes. And that's pretty much for anything. You have to be able to close the deal. So that's a lot of what Friday's message is. So
Friday, you'll be on our campus in the Woodlands, Lone Star College, Montgomery, at the University Center in room 200.
This is brand new.
There you go.
Guys, write this down. Write this down. So that's University Center.
The University Center, room 200.
In the Woodlands.
In the Woodlands.
Room 200.
Room 200. That's entrance number 2 to our campus off of 242, Highway 242, College Park Drive. Easy to find parking right in front of the building.
Very good. You can't get lost. And if you do get
No, you
lost,
can't
that's
get
more of an
lost.
excuse.
We will help you if you get lost.
8:30 a.m. 8:30 a.m. When to start. We'll repeat that information
Great.
very soon. But thank you so much. And you know, for you, those of you listening, this is how Lone Star College supports your Chamber of Commerce. You know, there's so many organizations out there that have wonderful, beautiful facilities. But the moment I walk in and say, you know, Marriott, we would love to do something here, they say, yeah, okay. How much? You know, $25, $30, $40 a person. And that's the minimum, you know, if the Marriott's going to loan us something. In spite of the fact that these are all business owners that live here and can actually really support organizations like that. So when we go to Lone Star College, it's always the same result. It's always the same answer. Is come in, you're at home, this is for you. And I wonder, where does that philosophy come from, Rebecca? Because it's so different and refreshing, but very nice.
There's a reason we're called a community college. We do belong to the community. We are taxpayer supported. We do charge when people want to use the facilities, unless it's one of our partners, and the Hispanic Chamber is one of our partners. So we welcome the use of our facilities, that we welcome the community partnerships and business partnerships. And
we're so thankful. Like I said earlier, nothing legitimizes more an organization like ours than being partners with you. And so we're very thankful for all of your support and for just allowing us. You know, 'cause one thing that a lot of our members don't know, because you weren't there, we were able to tour your digital marketing facilities yesterday.
Yes.
It's incredible. So when we come back from break, we're going to talk a lot more about that and how that's impacting your enrollment and everything else. So please stay with us. We'll be right back.
The Hispanic Chamber Connection is sponsored by EML Insurance Agency, located at 719 Sawdust Road, Suite 103, the Woodlands, Texas. EML Agency is a family-owned insurance agency that provides home, life, automobile, and umbrella insurance coverage. Since 2006, the EML Agency has been a bilingual insurance service for businesses and private citizens in the Montgomery County area. For more information on the EML Insurance Agency, please visit the Hispanic Chamber Connection at www.irlonestar.com/HCC. The EML Insurance Agency is available by telephone at 832-525-5656 or online www.emelagency.com. The EML Insurance Agency is a sponsor of this program, and the Hispanic Chamber Connection thanks you.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app for your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That is Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1.
Did you know there are more than 790 abused and neglected children currently in foster care in Montgomery County? Will you help make a difference? I'm Allie Stevens with Casa Child Advocates of Montgomery County. We train and support volunteers to be the voice of children in the foster care system. Kids are removed from their home because of abuse and neglect, and we need volunteers just like you to advocate for these children. To learn more about becoming an advocate, please visit CasaSpeaksForKids.com. That's CasaSpeaksForKids.com.
Lone Star Community Radio presents the Lone Star Radio Troupe. This talented cast will perform radio plays right here in the Lone Star Studios located in downtown Conroe. There will be a new performance every first Sunday of the month. And if you miss the broadcast, just go to Lone Star Community Radio's podcast or YouTube anytime during that month. Go to OurLoneStar.com archives to find the Lone Star Radio Troupe's latest play that's available. This is Lone Star Community Radio, Conroe's 104.5 FM and 106.1 FM community station. Find us on the web at irlonestar.com. Lone Star Community Radio is a supporter to the performing arts in Montgomery County, Texas.
Back. This is Dr. Carlos Sanchez with the Hispanic Chamber Connection radio show. Listen up, everyone. I'm here with Dr. Rebecca Riley, president of Lone Star College Montgomery. And one of the most important things that I want to say about Rebecca that you really want to pay attention to is that she's one of the most successful presidents of community colleges that you will ever meet. A lot of reasons for that. The biggest reason, of course, is her leadership and just the kindness of her part outside of course, her intelligence, her smarts, and everything else that she's going to talk a little bit about. And that actually, it couldn't happen to a better person, the things that you guys are experiencing right now, Rebecca. You know, it's so impressive, truly, as an outside business person, when we walk through your college, and it's just the cleanliness, the students all seem really happy. You know, it's just really cool. And the digital marketing part of your campus, you know, I know that a lot of our members that were there yesterday, we had about 20 people there, are still talking about it. I guarantee they're still talking about what they saw and how impressed they were. Could you give us a little bit of a rundown of what it is, and just, if you would, just start with, you know, what is it and how does it work?
Sure. It's we have a newly created digital marketing intelligence center on our campus, and it's part of our PR and marketing communications division. But that division works very closely with our admissions, recruiting, and instructional divisions on our campus. So the purpose of that center is to create buzz. We create buzz throughout the campus by staying connected to our students through social media. Every day we're monitoring several different platforms in social media. And we know what our students are talking about. We know what they need because of our connection to them. We are also very involved in the use of data analytics to help improve our students' experience at the college, but also to improve their success and completion rates.
So in many ways, you know what they're thinking, because they're posting it on different social media platforms.
Yes, they tell us what they think all the time.
Of course.
That's what we want. We want them to be connected with us. You know, the most important thing for us is to listen to what our students have to say. Right. The good, the bad, the ugly. It's almost always good and wonderful, but we need to know when we're not doing things very well as well.
You know, that is so important. And that's what impressed us the most yesterday, because of 20 business owners, you know, I asked the group, how many of you guys actually get real data, real-time feedback from your customers? And, you know, there were not very many hands that went up, because we don't have the access to that, you know. Not only the idea, but just the idea itself of doing it, it seems like a lot of work for people, but it's so valuable. What has it meant for you guys to be involved like that?
It's been a true game changer for our campus. We have always, well, actually for several years, have been pretty good at collecting descriptive data about our students. And we're very good with our descriptive data and descriptive analytics. But we really wanted to move further into our capacity to be predictive.
There you go.
So we're using much more robust tools at this point, both on the communication side in terms of feedback from our students and what we can learn from our students, but also in terms of our student characteristics and there are a number of factors and variables around each student that help us know what that student needs the most.
There you go. So to give our listeners just an idea, Rebecca.
So I'll give you an example of a campaign that resulted from our use of data this spring. We knew right before the spring semester started in January that we had a couple of thousand students who had not yet registered for spring classes, who had persisted from semester to semester very well in the past, had great grades, so they didn't have academic challenges. They had also been approved for financial aid, but had not yet registered. Some of them didn't know they'd been approved, but many did. So we did we were able to go through our data, select those individual students, and communicate directly with each individual student and find out what they needed to be able to come back to school. So we connected them with an advisor and helped them get back in. The return on that campaign to around 1,500 or so students was almost 50%. So it was extremely fruitful for the students and good for us, good for business.
You know, I can really see how people like real estate professionals and folks like that who you know, pre-qualified people buy homes and things like that can use this.
That's exactly the
idea.
kind of data you need.
So here's the question then. Ready?
Yes.
Are you guys putting together a course to teach people how to do what you're doing?
That's the $60,000 question right there, or maybe it's more like $1 million question. But it's actually, we are working on a data analytics degree in analytics, in whether it's business analytics or health information technology connected to analytics and other specialized uses of analytics in energy, manufacturing, those kinds of things. Those are all very important aspects of the direction that businesses need to go in higher education as well. So universities are, for the most part at this point, have master's degrees in analytics. But there are more and more programs beginning to develop in business analytics and in scientific analytics.
Also the implementation. See, that's the bigger thing.
Yes.
Is that nationwide, how many colleges are doing actually what you guys are doing?
Well, not very many on their own. There are some companies that you can outsource this kind of activity to, but of course it's not quite as nimble because you're not dealing with this every single day on your campus. Right. It has to do usually with larger campaigns. There are very few actually who are doing this on their own.
And plus, if they own and manipulate the data, they kind of own you too. You know, it's one of those things that.
Well, theoretically, you're partnered with them, but.
Okay, let's just go with that.
So I can't really speak to that experience, but I can tell you that developing your internal expertise can be extremely fruitful, whether you're a business or educational entity or what kind of, regardless of the organization.
And I can tell you this is what blew away so many of our members yesterday. And I know that the more people know this, it's incredible. The difference that it makes now to have this data, this information for your advertising.
Well, yes. Of course, like many entities, much of our advertising in the last several years has been in print advertising. We still do some print advertising because we think it's appropriate for certain groups, but we don't do near as much as we used to. The cost savings from moving from print to other forms of advertising is what allowed us to develop the Digital Marketing Center.
There you go.
And has enabled us to do a number of other things through campaigns, through moving our resources around to where they really provide us with a much greater ROI.
This is cutting edge, right? I mean, this is at the forefront. This is how, if you get into the mind of your customer and you really understand your customer, then you're able to do so many more things, save so much money. I mean, this can save businesses.
It is.
It's a major thing.
At this point, we even our students opt in on Instagram to our messaging, and so using some geofencing techniques, for example, we've been able to identify students who are struggling in certain areas, and when they get close to the tutoring center, they get a message that says, "There's a tutor waiting.
Here.
There's a tutor available to you right now.
Like,
let
look
us help
this way.
You. You are doing so great. Let us help you get to the finish line."
And the thing is, I think what we're seeing here also for our listeners is people are communicating it differently now.
Yes.
It's not just a matter of a large town hall meeting or something. You're very intimate with people. I mean, when they're getting out of bed, logging in and seeing exactly what's going on.
We must communicate with our students the way they want to be.
So hear it, guys.
Receiving the message.
Hear what we're saying here. You must communicate with your market. You must communicate with your customers.
The way they want to hear it.
And if you're not doing that, then you're still advertising on some media that nobody looks at. Then, you might be missing it. You might be saving a lot of money by doing one thing or another. But once Lone Star puts out this course, we'll be the first ones there.
Well, we're working with some four-year universities to create a 2+2 freshman, sophomore year with us, junior, senior year with a four-year school to complete an analytics degree.
There's no quick one, like for a business person who wants to go learn this stuff?
Well, we're developing that as well through our corporate college.
Because we have some people that are pretty good on Facebook.
We will let you know as soon as that is available.
What surprised me also, thank you, Rebecca. We'll hold you to that next time. What surprised me also is the use of Snapchat. That you guys it's a huge thing. Yes. And for our chamber, we're learning Snapchat. And our members are really on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter.
Yes.
Those are the main ones. Yes. But Snapchat and then Pinterest was another one that we heard yesterday that people are using a lot of. So bottom line with all this, guys, is you probably also want to just become first 5, maybe 6, platforms, one at a time. So we have courses in the chamber. We teach our members, how to use Facebook, how to use LinkedIn, and how to set all these things up, because that's almost like a base. You have to know that because you're going to use a lot of that.
Well, once a business is using some social media fairly regularly, if they want to come to the Digital Marketing Intelligence Center, and we can run some analytics on your messaging, on whether people are saying favorable things about you, what
Wow.
your ratings are,
Yeah.
and where most of your interest is coming from. Is it coming from the web? Is it coming from Facebook? Is it coming from Twitter? Then you know where to put your dollars back
Wow.
into your marketing.
That sounds like something we can even talk about soon.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, because it makes a huge difference for us in the chamber. And there's other people.
I'm sure Brian would love to come to one of your lunches and talk about
He should
that.
be a guest speaker next
I
Friday.
think I just volunteered him
Yeah.
for that.
But exactly. I'll also, because I communicated with him today, I'll make sure I reiterate your invitation.
You bet.
That Friday, maybe he come in and talk to the group a little bit. It's going to be about 50 people.
We'll probably get somebody over there. I
Okay,
think he's
yeah.
out on Friday, but we'll get
Come on,
somebody
Brian,
over
what are you
there.
doing? Okay,
get
so we'll get a representative. If it's not the president herself coming to say hello. Well, because we love hearing from you, Rebecca.
Well, I'm happy to come and talk.
I'm here with Rebecca Riley, who's president of Lone Star College Montgomery. Great conversation, very interesting things, guys. So please stay tuned, stay with us. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. We'll be right back.
The Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service has been dedicated to educating Texans for over a century. In 1915, the Extension Program was established under the federal Smith-Lever Act to deliver university knowledge and agricultural research findings directly to the people. Ever since, AgriLife Extension programs have addressed the emerging issues of the day, serving diverse populations across the state. Texans turn to Extension for solutions in horticulture, agriculture, 4-H and youth, and family and consumer sciences. Extension agents respond not only with answers, but also with resources and services that result in significant returns on investment to boost the economy. Join us Fridays at 1 o'clock for the AgriLife Extension Hour.
Remember to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on your computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. Lone Star Community Radio, broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
The Hispanic Chamber Connection is sponsored by EML Insurance Agency, located at 719 Sawdust Road, Suite 103, the Woodlands, Texas. EML Agency is a family-owned insurance agency that provides home, life, automobile, and umbrella insurance coverage. Since 2006, the EML Agency has been a bilingual insurance service for businesses and private citizens in the Montgomery County area. For more information on the EML Insurance Agency, please visit the Hispanic Chamber Connection at www.irlonestar.com/HCC. The EML Insurance Agency is available by telephone at 832-525-5656 or online www.emelagency.com. The EML Insurance Agency is a sponsor of this program, and the Hispanic Chamber Connection thanks you.
An estimated 1 in 10 births will result in a neonatal intensive care stay, also known as the NICU. Overnight, a family can find themselves and their newborn baby in a critical situation. The Mila Foundation financially and spiritually assists families in need. If you would like to volunteer or become a monthly sponsor, please visit us at www.themilafoundation.org. Again, that's www.themilafoundation.org, because every life matters.
We're back. This is Dr. Carlos Sanchez with the Hispanic Chamber Connection radio show, a program for and by members of the Texas Gulf Coast Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And yes, I said it. Texas Gulf Coast Hispanic Chamber is the name of the mothership. That's actually the legal name of this organization. The Woodlands-Conroe Hispanic Chamber is where it all started, but we also have now the Katy Hispanic Chamber, the Vintage Park Hispanic Chamber, and the Galleria Hispanic Chamber. Of course, we do things in Humboldt. So we have the Greater Lake Houston Hispanic Chamber. So as you might have noticed, all the names I'm naming are the places where we have meetings, where we have presence. Because it started up in the Woodlands-Conroe, well, that's what most people know. Nonetheless, Texas Gulf Coast Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is the name. So if you see that anywhere, that's us. All right. So we're having a conversation with Rebecca Riley. Rebecca is president of Lone Star College Montgomery, and she's talking to us about all, just fascinating, guys. I mean, you've got to visit and you've got to show up and check it out because you just don't know the capabilities they have. It's unbelievable. And, after all, it is a community college, so one way or another, you are paying for some of these things as a resident of the area. And so showing up, I mean, to me, it feels almost like a hotel, like the hospitality, the warmth, when you walk through the offices. And I've gone to school most of my life, and it took me 8 years to get a PhD just because I just couldn't do it. I had to quit sometimes and then to come back. And it usually doesn't take that long because of the coldness of the schools where I was going with the things I was doing. This is so different and so contrary to what anybody might think about a big organization like this. So, Rebecca, I wanted to ask you the added value that a community college brings.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little about that, if you would. But first, I think I might have to restate the question. I'm not sure, because I think that you had it better than I do. Go ahead and it was more, what is the added value?
Well, we were speaking earlier, excuse me, we were speaking earlier about the fact that in this day and age, more than 50% of freshman students begin at a community college. The majority of students who graduate with a bachelor's degree have taken at least some coursework at a community college. And the reason is it's such a great value and you get such a high quality education. Lone Star College system is a system of 6 colleges across the northern part of Houston, stretching all the way from Kingwood to Cy-Fair. We have nearly 100,000 students at this point. The Lone Star College Montgomery campus has about 16,000 students, including the smaller center at Conroe. So students are able to complete the first 2 years of college if they intend to transfer for a bachelor's degree at significantly less cost than beginning at a 4-year school. The persistence and success rates of our students who transfer to a 4-year school is actually better than native students who start at a 4-year. Our students are very successful because they're very well prepared.
You must be very proud of you.
We are very proud of our students. I was just at a ceremony for the Honors College the other day, and 6 students, one from each of our campuses, talked about their experience with the Honors College. And they talked about the research they had been able to do. Some of them are already publishing.
Wow.
The kind of individualized attention and support that a student gets at a community college while still experiencing the same or better rigor than they'll get anywhere else is really unique in higher education.
And that's amazing. Amazing because, like I said, you attend universities or you attend organizations like this, and there is sort of a myth out there about a community college and what it means and what it's supposed to be, and people make fun sometimes. They have no idea what they're talking about.
Well, there was a whole sitcom about it, right?
That's clueless. They how do they not know? Well, it's because they've never been on campus. They've never experienced it.
Yeah. And we invite people to come and visit to learn more about it. We offer coursework through our campuses, but we're also very proud of the opportunity for students who are still in high school to begin obtaining college credit through dual credit.
Wow.
And all of our partner ISDs in our service area, Conroe, Willis, New Waverly, Huntsville, Magnolia, Montgomery, all offer dual credit.
Wow.
So students, and we don't charge tuition for dual credit. So you can start accumulating college credits if you qualify for college level courses when you're a junior in high school.
And you can do that, guys. And for those of you listening who have children, you need to get out of the house. This is the way to do it in a very productive manner. And just all you need to do. And that's the biggest thing too, with everything we're talking about, from business networking to being successful in college. And you've got to show up. You just got to show up. Visit, get involved. Don't wait for things to hit you because they're not going to. It just doesn't happen. Because from in my life, I always thought a thunderbolt would hit, something would happen.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't happen. I'm still waiting for some things. Well, I was waiting, but you either go out and do things or it doesn't. And with the facilities you guys have, with just the amount of offerings you have, it's beyond unbelievable that people don't show up. And I'm not saying they don't in your case, in my case. Maybe that's my
Well, 16,000 people have shown up,
Yes,
but
ma'am.
we are our doors are open. We're ready.
What percentage? Tell us a little about that. Tell us a little about your Hispanic population. And where's that going?
Yeah. Well, the Hispanic population in the Lone Star College system is the largest single group of students in terms of the percentage of the total student population.
What percentage?
It's roughly 40%, a little higher on some campuses, a little lower on other campuses. But we're a very diverse student body as a whole. But again, the Hispanic students are the fastest growing percentage as a whole, and right now the largest single group of all of our student body. So we know that our Hispanic population in our high schools is growing as well. So we consider it very, very important to serve all students well, but to make sure that our Hispanic students are well served at the community college.
We're talking to Rebecca Riley. She is president of Lone Star College Montgomery. So guys, Lone Star College has how many students total now?
The total system has almost 100,000 if you count credit and non-credit students. Lone Star College Montgomery has about 16.
And overall, about 35-40% are Hispanic.
Yes, over in the system. Yes.
Very good. So that's another message we want to put out to the
Yes.
community as well.
Yes.
That they're more than welcome, and I've seen it as
yes.
well. And I've talked to people. That's another thing is that when certain, and I'm not saying anybody in particular, but sometimes when diversity is not considered a priority, and it's just let go, then service is different.
You are absolutely correct about that. My doctoral studies were in the field of intercultural competence, and I chose that topic because I felt that diversity is such an important thing for us to really understand, and not just understand, to work with in this day and age. I mean, we see way too many problems resulting from an inability to work with diversity in the world these days.
Agree.
So we at Lone Star College Montgomery, we have a number of initiatives going on specifically designed to address the needs of a diverse student population, but also to increase the diversity of our faculty and staff. So we have, over the last few years, our hiring practices have been very focused on making sure that we not only have a diverse pool of candidates, but that we don't include hidden biases or anything else, any other kinds of barriers to access to employment at Lone Star College in any way. And it's been very successful. We're very pleased. We have a long way to go in terms of reaching parity with our student body, but we are well on track.
And it's a job.
It is.
It's something you do every day, all the time.
Well, and the other thing is people love working at Lone Star so much that no one ever quits. So, there are limited openings from year to year, but it's been a great accomplishment in my administration over the last couple of years, improving the diversity of
absolutely. And I've seen it too. Just not only with Michael Chavez, I think he's one of the first ones there that were
my senior staff. Yes.
A lot of your guys, when you look at your cabinet, it is a very diverse cabinet as well. And a lot of folks don't know that either. It's just one of those things. And I'll say this over and over again, guys. I don't know who had the line, Woody Allen or something. 80% of life is showing up. If you can do that and begin to get involved and understand some of the resources you have right here, right in your backyard, it make a big difference.
It's fantastic programming at the college. We have, I think I mentioned earlier that about 75% of our students intend to transfer for a four-year degree. But we have so many programs that are designed to lead to employment just at the end of a two-year program and really well-paying jobs.
Wow.
We have a nursing program, for example. We will begin a bachelor's degree in nursing probably by fall of 2019. We have radiologic technology, physical therapy assisting, and paramedic in our health occupations suite.
And that's a huge field.
Which are very large and extremely well-paying jobs. On the more industrial side, we have machining, welding, automotive. In the sciences, we have a premier biotechnology program. right now they're working on an NSF grant,
Wow.
or they have an NSF grant that involves some research with NASA. So students will be publishing their work.
Lone Star College, guys, listen
right
up.
here, yes. We have an undergraduate research institute on our campus that students are publishing before they're even an upperclassman.
Gee, that was more screwed up
It's
at that
really
time in my
fun
life.
to look
Yeah.
at a peer-reviewed article where you have names followed by all the letters,
Sure.
PhD, MS, blah, blah, blah. And then you have just a name.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a student.
Wow.
That's a student.
And that's amazing. You know,
So I want to talk just a little
Yes,
bit
yes.
about another program that is really becoming very popular, is growing a lot. Our live entertainment technology
live
program.
entertainment.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this is that a grip job?
Well, it will teach you a number of things associated with anything to do with production.
Okay.
So, rigging, grips, anything, sound production, lighting design and production, videotaping and video editing. We have a new building that is state of the art, that is designed to help students be ready to work in any kind of live production, whether it's theater, conference centers, mega churches. So many places are very media dependent for
Sure,
programming
absolutely. The
these
bigger ones,
days.
sure.
So our students are ready to go. And like all of our 2-year AAS programs, workforce programs, we have an advisory board that tells us how to keep our curriculum up to date. And that live entertainment technology program has advisory board members from major production companies. We have had support from Cirque du Soleil. I mean, it's a big time.
I have a question from the audience.
Yay,
Here it
good.
goes. Okay, so what is your employee count?
What is our employee count? Okay.
How many employees do you guys have?
Well, it fluctuates a little bit, but we have around about 300 full-time faculty, a little under 300 full-time faculty. We have about 400 or 500 adjunct faculty, and then we have 300 or 400 staff.
Okay, so student to I guess professor
okay.
ratio.
So let me just tell you what the average class size is, because actually that's one of the data points that we keep up in our financial analytics.
Sure.
So our average class density at Lone Star College Montgomery is 22.
Very good. Okay, so Mr. or Mrs. X, because I don't have your name, I hope that answered your question. I do have another comment that I wanted to touch real quick on, Rebecca, because you're an artist.
Yes, I am.
You outside of having your doctorate and being such a appointed and on the forefront person in academia, you also have a side of you that I remember, because when I met you, I went into your office, I sat down, and I was looking at this painting on the wall, and you said, I produced that. And I said, what? And then I started to get to know you better and better. So tell us a little bit about your artistic background, about you being an artist. Where did you get all that from?
I feel like I've lived several lives in this lifetime, but one of them is as an artist. And so, yes, my undergraduate and master's degree training is in painting, printmaking, and art history.
Wow. Okay.
And so for many years, especially when my children were young, I primarily stayed home with them or worked part-time. And so I maintained a studio. I still maintain a studio, but obviously there are fewer hours spent in the studio at this point than there used to be.
So you do painting. I remember that we went to a benefit last year.
Yes.
And you,
yes, there was a watercolor in the live auction, or in the silent auction.
It was on flowers, right? I still remember.
Yes.
It was,
yes.
I forget the name, but it was very very pretty. Oh, okay.
It had
so you,
birds of paradise.
Yes, there you go, birds of paradise. But this is something also just for our members and for our listeners to realize, is that balance is really important too. It's important to have a
It is
job.
very much. And I've often been asked, how in the world did an artist become? Why did you go into administration? Because those two things seem a bit incompatible, because artists are often seen as kind of
more aloof.
Well, less conformist, and that sort of thing. And administrators are the ultimate conformists, right? So, but the fact is that administrative work and leadership is about design.
Absolutely.
It's really about design.
Creativity.
Design is about balance and getting the right components to work together. This is a big art project.
Very good. So you're listening to Rebecca Riley, Dr. Rebecca Riley, is president of Lone Star College Montgomery. She's talking to us about a variety of things that are really meaningful to our community and to you as a listener. So like we said earlier, if you have any questions or any comments, by all means, reach out. You can touch me on Facebook or on Twitter. You can also reach me, and we can ask Rebecca. So I have another question I wanted to ask. Just in general, you were talking a little bit about diversity and about some of the things that you're doing as a faculty and things like that. And one thing I noticed is that even your staff, you know, that they're very, well, they tend to be, they're very, very outreach driven, or you know, when they saw us sitting in your lobby, for instance, it's a diverse group of people there, who are these people? They were very open to come and sit with us and talk to us.
Yes.
Do they get training on this, or is that just what they do?
Some of the departments do specific training on things like customer service, and especially in our student services area, especially in the areas where students tend to have the most anxiety, like testing and financial aid. So we do that, but we also, Lone Star College also has a set of cultural values that we really do embody and really live. You know, a lot of people have slogans in the wall that, you know, no one really remembers, or they're just for show. But the college as a whole, the system, undertook a process a few years ago. About 400 people from across the system were brought into a room and spent 2 days really developing a set of cultural values. And I was a participant in that. And I have to tell you, when I first walked in, I thought, oh, no way.
Here we go.
Get 400 people to agree on anything. But the process was amazing. And we really did come up with a set of things that we all kind of live by. And they include students matter, no fear. You can't be afraid to innovate. You can't be afraid. Trust. You know, we inspire excellence. We really embody those values. And part of that is we really want to treat anyone who walks on our campus the way we'd like to be treated if we're walking into a strange place.
And that's amazing to me. Because like I said, you know, you go to a hospital, you go to any institution, and like you said, we have career people there.
Yes.
Or they're bureaucrats, or they're just folks that are rigid about their behavior. And you don't get, because people were shaking my hand yesterday at your campus, and to me, I thought that was extraordinary. You know, just because they are embodying, said that they treat everyone with a lot of sweetness, a lot of hospitality. That's unusual. So just another thing, another feather in your cap. You know, another thing.
On our campus, I've really tried to lead in a way that helps people understand a system of positive accountability, which to me means that when something happens, good or bad, you don't immediately say, who did that in a blaming way, but it's more about who's responsible for that we need to celebrate.
Okay.
You know?
All right.
It's an accountability system that is positive as opposed to negative.
Wow. Okay. Now that's something that we need to talk about a little bit. So I'm talking here with Dr. Rebecca Riley. She is president of Lone Star College Montgomery. She has already announced once where we're going to be this Friday. For those of you listening, we're going to be in room 200.
The University Center.
University Center, and that's 3200 College Park Drive, middle entrance. You'll have to figure that one out. Well, if you're looking at the three entrances, it's the middle one. That's where you go in.
There you go.
It's going to be right there. It's building 2.
Yes.
And that's this Friday. So when we come back, we'll talk more with Rebecca Riley about all kinds of new things that they're doing and some announcements. We'll be right back.
The Hispanic Chamber Connection is sponsored by EML Insurance Agency, located at 719 Sawdust Road, Suite 103, the Woodlands, Texas. EML Agency is a family-owned insurance agency that provides home, life, automobile, and umbrella insurance coverage. Since 2006, the EML Agency has been a bilingual insurance service for businesses and private citizens in the Montgomery County area. For more information on the EML Insurance Agency, please visit the Hispanic Chamber Connection at www.irlonestar.com/HCC. The EML Insurance Agency is available by telephone at 832-525-5656 or online www.emlagency.com. EML Insurance Agency is a sponsor of this program, and the Hispanic Chamber Connection thanks you.
We're back. This is Dr. Carlos Sanchez with the Hispanic Chamber Connection radio show. I'm here with Dr. Rebecca Riley. Rebecca Riley is president of Lone Star College, Montgomery, right down the street. And obviously, she's also in the Conroe area. And something we were talking about before, just the amount of initiatives they have and the amount of value they provide to the community is probably something you might not be familiar with. And you might have to come to one of our events at Lone Star. We're doing something this Friday. It's a sales training. If you're involved in business and you don't have sales training in your background, if you've never taken sales training, it's likely you're doing something wrong. Because most people think that to sell, they have to talk. Big mistake. To sell, you have to listen. And you have to ask questions. And so people do it the other way around. And we'll talk to you about that. It's a 3-hour program. And it's pretty intense in terms of the learning and the value and everything else. It does include a tour of the college or something like that. We'll figure something out so you can get to see some of the things we've been talking about. We are expecting a couple of speakers that are going to come out from the college to talk to you a little bit about what they're doing. And you'll have also access to about 3 or 4 chamber speakers, just business people who have been successful in sales and who want to share information with you. So that's this Friday, 8:30 a.m., room 200, University Center, right here, 3200 College Drive.
College Park Drive.
You guys know where that is. You've been
242.
And if you've not been
right
there,
across the street from College Park High School.
Exactly, right there. And it's at a perfect time, 8:30 in the morning, so there'll be no traffic and there'll be no excuses. But we'll see you earlier. We'll be there earlier, and we'll have something for you, some coffee, some food, and we look forward to seeing you. So, Rebecca, okay, so before we went on break, we were talking about some things that I think are really important, just to close up the show and everything else. Just some announcements, some things that you want to reach out to the community and make sure that they know about you, they know about the college. If you would, please.
About the college, yes. Well, we were talking about the value that a community college represents. Our tuition and fees are significantly lower than even the least expensive state universities in Texas. But what I want people to know is that for some people, there's still a barrier, even the low tuition that we have. So what I want people to know is that we have assistance for people to apply for financial aid. A significant percentage of our students are on financial aid, at least 25%. It's going up every year. And it's very, the application process can be somewhat daunting if you've never ever done it before, but we've got people who can walk you through it. And there's just absolutely no reason why you shouldn't apply. And you're a taxpayer. You have paid for the benefits that you would receive. So there's no reason why you shouldn't take advantage of a college education close to home.
Very good. And that's pretty much, even when, are there better times when people should show up?
Well, yes. I'll tell you when the worst times to show up are for your very first visit to campus in terms of applying and enrolling. And that's right before a semester starts, which would be in middle of January and late August. Okay. Those are our biggest rush times. But if you walked onto campus right now, you'd have your pick of advisors. You could talk to professors. Come in June or July, and we will hold your hand and take care of you.
Very good. So, and in registration at the main campus, is that where they would want to go?
You can do it at the main campus. You can also do it at the Conroe Center.
What about the one over on Creekside?
Yes, that is another center in the Woodlands. Yes, there is a Creekside Center. It's associated with the Tomball campus. Same services. Okay. They'll be glad to help you.
Is that where the automotive people are?
Automotive is here in Conroe.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Creekside has computer sciences.
There you go. Okay. And so now you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. It's 3200 College Park Drive. Any one of the entrances is good. Just find the admissions or registration.
Building C is admissions and advising.
Building, and anybody can tell you where that is because everybody's been there.
Yes.
So Dr. Rebecca Riley, President, Lone Star College, Montgomery, thank you so much for being on the program.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it.
And you're coming back because we have all kinds of other questions about this stuff.
Something's
So,
always happening.
This is Dr. Carlos Sanchez. Thank you.